All right, today we're going to cover Golden Time of Day. That's what we're going over. Golden Time of Day. And this is by Maze Featuring Frankie Beverly. All right. Yeah. So Maze Featuring Frankie Beverly. This is who it's by. Hope everyone had a good week. Everyone on YouTube, Twitch, I already got the charts up. I got the charts up right here, already ready for you to view right now. So the charts are up in the beginning of the video. If you need to pause, whatever, I'll actually go and I will zoom in a little bit actually. Yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. These are the charts. Okay. And hopefully you can see them. Hopefully you can see them. I'm trying to have it all in there. All right. I'm actually going to switch between sessions so that you can see the intro and everything. But this is Golden Time of Day by Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. This is what we're covering today. All right. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If y'all want to sit and chill or you want to, yeah, it don't matter. We're here. All right. So like my joint real quick. So anyhow, here we are. Again, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. I was kind of giving people a few minutes to actually join in real quick, you know, so that if you want to know what these chords are, you'll know what they are. If you want to see the charts, please go to YouTube. And I'm about to go ahead and start. So right now, we're actually going to start with the intro, okay? I will play the intro first. I'll play the intro first just so that you can hear how it's supposed to sound. And I'm just going to play the chords. All right. And let me adjust that a little bit. All right. So the song is in the key of E. So here's E. Or E. E major, E major, both of them, E major. So here's the intro. Here's how it sounds. The drums. So that's the intro, and I'll go into the specifics first. Well, a little bit later, so that you'll understand that. Now I played that a certain way, and I kind of switched over here a little bit. So anyway, starting with the E major seventh. Now this E major seventh, it can be played in multiple places. I have the chart right there in front of you so that you can see it, and I'll, you know, I'm always going to switch so that you can see where it's at and give you a chance to see that. Okay. So here's where, oh, here it is right here on the 7th fret. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's like a major 7th shape. Okay. So keep that in mind. But I want to keep these charts in front of you right here. Okay. So but that's how you play that position. Okay, I actually have it here as well. I got the tabs. This tutorial, I'm pretty much gonna put everything in front of you. All right, this is software that I use. So yeah, that's where it's at. This is I think this is what, Guitar Pro 8. So you can see the position. I showed you live. I showed the fretboard here. You got the tabs here. You got another chart right here. All right. I was using Illustrator before, and I think it was cool and colorful, and I think that does work, and I will use it sometimes. But this is like, you know, you got the traditional staff right here. So I won't go into the traditional staff part, but you can see the tabs. I'm pretty sure you all know how to read tabs. If you need help, let me know. let me know about that. Let me know if you need help with that. But here's the finger positioning. 7th fret is right here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And we'll go back over to the top, and then actually the intro is actually rather simple. Okay, just checking if anybody joined. The intro is rather simple. Anthony, what's good, man? What's good? What's good? So yeah, but starting with the starting with that E major 7th. Starting with the E major 7th. You're barring at the 7th fret, and you're doing the rest of the shape. That is, I mean, it's the not the traditional, but like the standard way to do a bar major 7th chord. Okay, so on the 9th fret, you're fretting on the B and D string, okay, and you're also fretting on the G string at the 8th fret. So it sounds like this. That's the first chord. That's the very first chord of the song, as far as like the intro. Now the next few chords are actually pretty simple, because you're going to go to the F sharp, all right? And the way you play this F sharp is you're barring at the 2nd fret at this point. You're barring at the 2nd fret. All right. Let me let you show that real. Let me let you see it real quick. So you're barring at the 2nd fret now. So here's the 2nd fret, and you're gonna basically your ring finger is on the 4th fret on the A string. You could also do your pinky on the 4th string as well on the D string. You can do that. That's actually a minor chord. Okay, so you can play minor chord, minor 7th chord, one or the other. So either one works. So you're going to keep this shape on the 2nd fret and on the 4th fret and on the 5th fret. So up until now, you sound like this. All right. Relatively simple. Relatively simple. All right. So got the charts right in front of you. Here's this one. Here's this one. Here's this one. Ah, you can't hear it. Thank you so much, TikTok. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm waiting on you. I didn't even realize I had it down. I didn't realize. Yeah, there we go. Let me know if it's too loud. I have my little knob down right here. Anyway, intro is. All right, so we went over the first chord and like the first 4 chords. If y'all got questions, and those of you who are on TikTok, if you want to see the charts, I actually, Tori, how you doing? If you want to see the charts, come to YouTube. And those of you, if you got Twitch, go to Twitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Twitch this time too. At the same time. So yes, these are the first few chords, and it's actually kind of simple. And you can play the E up here. All right, I'm just making it a super concerted effort to make sure that these charts are up pretty early. Now you can also play the last chord in that intro. So you're playing. Now on a separate video, I'm gonna go over the like the solo. I'm doing that on a separate video because it'll be a lot in this video. But so I'm playing a couple of different chords. That last chord, which is a D, Let me get right here. It's like it's a D6, you know, and you can pretty much play it in the open position, and all you'll be fretting are the G and high E string on the second fret. So there's another way you can play it up here too. And the way you play this particular one is, let me go here so that you can see this. The way that you play this particular one, and I just realized you all weren't even on the doggone chart. I mean on the chart as far as I'm showing it to you. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm on the software, but wasn't even showing it to you. But yeah. So there we go. So let me show you, let me go back. Let me kind of start over, not start over all the way, but here's the first chord, second chord, third chord, fourth chord, fifth chord. That's the one I just was telling you about. Okay. Okay. An H chord. Who was that? Seth? Yeah. Okay. Hey, teach me that H chord. Let me know where that is. We can add that in. So, if that D chord is a little too hard to play, then just play a D major chord. I ain't mad at that either. Now it has an effect on it. I ain't really tweak it, but so that's on that intro. So, I mean, that's pretty much the whole intro. If anyone got any questions, you can definitely let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to move to the next part. Thank you all for joining me as well. And I'll show you how my hands are on it also on YouTube. So here's how it looks. That's if I play the D, or I could play the D down here as well. If you don't want to play this, you can lift that, what you're playing on the B string, just. Play that. No, it's actually flipped. I should have flipped it before I started. So this is Harvey Hearn. No, I'm not. I'm playing right-handed. It's funny because I am actually left-handed. I write with my left hand. I eat with my left hand. Brush my teeth with my left hand. But yeah, I play guitar right-handed. I shoot basketball, right? I throw with my right hand. I can write with my right hand, but I'm left-handed though. Yeah. So that's the intro. All right. It ain't no rocket science. Once you get the actual shapes, I mean, that's just what it is. All right. In the key of E. Remember that. Now, let's go to the verse. Now, the verse part, I mean, it's pretty much, that's pretty much what it is for the majority of the song. All of the other chords are actually Hi, that's cool. That's cool. So we're reverse. Yeah. Hey, whatever's comfortable for you. And that's to Harvey. Hearn. Yeah. So you play left, but you're right-handed. That's ambidextrous, folks. We can't decide sometimes. Um, so yeah. So now I'm gonna switch to the verse. All right. Let's go to the verse. And these chords are pretty much throughout the rest of the song. And even toward the end of the song, I didn't notate that on the charts on YouTube, but the chords are in here. So I'm not going to like do a separate one for that. Okay. And I don't even think I have it to where you can even hear it. Ooh, that's too loud. Too loud. For me, at least. For me. Let me see. Dang, that metronome loud too. Bring that down. All right. There we go. Let me see if y'all can hear that. Nah, y'all can't hear that. I thought I had it coming through. But anyway. I'm going to just let it loop through real quick so you can see the fingering right here. This is the verse part. And I'm realizing that the sound isn't coming through, so I'm going to play along with it. So, all right, so here we go. That the golden time of dun, 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 dun. All right, so those are the charts. Now let me talk about it a little bit. Figured I'd show y'all if you want to pause or rewind it, however you want to do it. Feel free. Feel free. Bring it up a little bit. I'm constantly like resizing the little charts to make sure that y'all can see it. Ooh. So that you can see every little thing. I hope everybody had a pretty good week too. Yeah, dog. This thing is so tricky to resize. Okay, here we go. There we go. There we go. We're in it now. Okay. So now, Ayla, what's up? Oh yeah, on that song, it's like a phaser, flanger type of effect, and I got a few. It's like a phaser effect. Soon I'm actually turn on my stereo feature where you can hear how big it is and you can listen with headphones and stuff like that. And it would, it's like a nice thing too, actually. All right, so let's go over this verse real quick. So we're starting back over with the E major 7th. So I already showed you what that chord is. Now you're going to play the same shape. The verse is actually all major or major 7th chords, the entire verse. So you could actually do the same shape the whole time, technically. So if you know this shape right here, okay, I'm showing on every platform, TikTok. Ain't nobody really coming on Twitch yet. because I haven't been like pushing Twitch like that. I was just seeing if it was gonna work. So we on Twitch, on YouTube. I already know what's up with YouTube. I see y'all are on. Daniel, Jebediah. Okay, play the Metal by Tenacious D. We on one song, Mr. Daniel. We on one song. I'll keep that in mind though. Thing is, if I jump around, people who came in for the song that I put the title on, they're going to just click back off because it's not the song that I put on the title. But I'll keep that in mind though. It's going to stay in the comments. For sure. For sure. And thank you for hopping in the comments too, Daniel, Jebediah. I appreciate that. So yes, as far as the verse. So here's the E major 7th. I already went over that shape. And then we're going to do an open A major 7th. Okay. So that's an open A major 7th. And that is actually right here. Okay. Actually, let me click here. Okay. So it's actually on that animated guitar neck right here. You can see it right here. And you can also see the chart right here. You can see the tab as well right here. So whichever way you want to look at it. And you can also look at my hand. If I switch real fast right here. So keep in mind that the neck on the chart that I show, it's as though I'm looking down at the neck so that you don't flip-flop it around. Okay. So keep that in mind. So that's how the A sounds. So both chords. So this is the part where he's like, in his voice. I don't have a voice like him. So when he's like, there's a time of the day. Da, 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 da. And that's the golden time of day. So, and I did the same shape for every single chord. So E major 7th, A major 7th, C major 7th, D major 7th. And I think it's actually a D major. And then back to E major. But you can play that different ways. You can play it you can play a C right here, which is the way that I think that they're playing it. This is actually how I can tell that the song was probably written on guitar because the shapes work perfectly for guitar. Okay, right here, this shape right here is what I'm playing. And then the next one is right here, which I actually put a D major on the chart. Yeah, I think that's what it is, because I could change it. I could change it to this. Okay, that would be a D major 7th, or I can do it right there. That's a D major, open D major. Okay, but that same D major and or D major 7th, I'm not using it interchangeably, but I'm just saying that you can. It's an option. You can do them both ways for that particular chord. But after you play that C, the next one is the D. Whether you play it here or you play it here. All right, so the way that the words fall, there's a time of the day. Boom, boom, boom. Da, 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 da. Boom. That's the golden time of day. And they go. All the riffs and stuff, I'm gonna do that on another song. On another video. Okay. But those are the chords. The reason why I didn't go over every single fingering aspect of it is because they are all the same shape as far as the verse. Okay. And then at the very end, it actually goes back and forth between the E major seventh. Can't you see? Sure. And then it goes to the C major seventh. E major seventh. Can't you see shining? Whoa. Can't you see shining? Whoa. It just does that over and over. So as far as the intro, dun, 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 do, 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 do. Let me get that time right. Dun, 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 dun. Do, do, do. Ba-doom, boom, boom. This is the verse part. And that's what it does. Boom, 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 boom. It just does that over and over. That's literally the whole song. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as doing all the fancy stuff, you know, I mean, if I were to... whammy stuff. Same chords I showed you. I just showed you a very generic way of playing it so that you're not thinking more of it than what it really is. That's why I was just playing straight. Then. But just know you can add the spice, you know, all the funk to it if you want to. Those are the chords. Anybody got any questions? And thing is, I'm actually testing out a much faster way to show the tutorials now because I'm testing out a few other things because I'm seeing what actually works. I know I was probably a little more conversational in the previous videos, but it's not looking like my views are picking up. So I'm just, you know, really seeing what's going to actually work. Because sometimes when you do a little too much talking, people click off. And it is good for the people who want to come. And I'm happy to show those who want to come. But I want more people to come. So for those of you who are on, maybe y'all can share it with somebody. And it'll have this multiplying effect and everything. And but otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. You all can rewind, take a snapshot of the chords and stuff like that. And this is really just the live version. Like I said, I'm gonna do a more like a recorded version, even though this will stay up, of all like the lines and stuff, all the or all the little double stops. Show how to play it. It's a different way to show how to play. You know, whenever I'm showing like lines and scales and things like that, it's just, it kind of takes you out of the element of knowing what the chords are. And I think sometimes that kind of takes down the attention span. So yeah, you just want to, keep the attention span consistent. That's pretty much what it comes down to. But yeah, Daniel Jebediah, I don't know if you're still on, but I will definitely check that out. And one thing that I do consider when individuals, when they make requests, I see like how relatable, how transferable, how teachable, that's probably the best word, how teachable is the song. And if it's not a very teachable song, then I might think a certain way about actually sharing it. And yeah, so that's pretty much what it comes down to. If I'm doing a lot of riffs, it's like teaching it. I mean, I can. It's like after a while, and then now people might say, "Oh wow," or they might, and then it's like people start scratching their head. Then it's like I have to teach something that people are gonna get. So that is very important. Anybody that makes a request, if I'm not sharing the request, I consider whether or not it's gonna be teachable. And then I'll leave that song if it's just like a different level or a different style or whatever that people are actually connecting with, because I have to test it out. Like, are people gonna retain it? And then somebody might say, okay, man, Kashif, the stuff I like Kashif, but I don't know if I want to play that. So I am teaching a broad range of stuff. I'm not just R&B. That ain't me. There are a lot of teachers who are straight R&B. I'm not. I'm actually R&B, soul, all that stuff. But I'm gonna show some Jimi Hendrix. I'm gonna show some blues. I'm gonna show a little bit of rock. Every now and then I'm gonna show a little bit of classical. But that's just to keep the mind flexible. Because that's the way I think. I get bored with the same stuff. Bring me in my house, I got to change the furniture every. I come home, I'm like, okay, yeah, we gotta change it up, change this. I'm tired of it. I don't like doing stuff the same way every single time. It's boring to me. Awesome, Ayla. Yeah, I think that's a good song because it's like you got a lot of the chords are the same exact shape, and you can just move them around, and it's actually a very teachable point because that C major seventh, playing a C major seventh, and one reason that you can learn chord progressions in a song is because this leads to you writing your own songs or figuring out how to play your own things. So, to be quite honest with you, if you were to just take a portion of this chord progression, let's just say the E and C, or those last chords, the C, the D. Guess what? If you took those intervals just somewhere else and you played them and you just went up one fret and you're really playing F right here. If you do this and take it to the 8th fret, now you're going to keep the intervals the same. You go to C sharp. Like, you don't have to keep it all in the same key. You know what I'm saying? And you can... that could be a different song. That could lead to a whole different song, And that's just from you learning chords from this song. And you just take it and you make it your own song. Kind of switch it up a little bit to make it new. But, there are lots of powerful chord progressions that are only major chords or only major 7th chords. And all of the chords are like the same type of chord. Then you have other chord progressions where there's a mix between major and minor chords. You know, like say I'm gonna just stay in C. So that's like another way. You can do chord progressions where they're nothing but minor chords. I'm keeping it the same shape. So you can, I mean, starting out, you can do that stuff. Just keep it the same. And let's start out, and then you'll get more understanding as to how you can like put them together and, you know, make it make sense vocally and melodically, adding melody to it. So that's just like another part. But yeah, but that song in particular, the verse is nothing but major seventh chords, with the exception of the D. I think the D is like a major chord, and all the other ones are major seventh. And there is a difference, because this is a major seventh chord. Here is a major chord, major seventh, major. And some people do use both sometimes in a verse. They major, major seventh. And sometimes they go back and forth, you know, but they use it as a part of their melodic structure. They just go between the that's actually how you add melody to chords. You use different chord structures and it turns into melody, basically. Okay, so those are all different chords that I just played. That's like a C9. There's a C major seventh. Here's a C major. And you play them all together. 3 different chords. It caused a melody to happen when you put them all together. But yeah, that is pretty much how. That's pretty much how you play the song. I know I rambled off about another thing. Okay. Any other questions y'all want me to address? TikTok. And yeah, this song it's a very mellowed out song. And actually, another little tidbit. This was actually a song that I would play when I was in college, and I just wanted to quit. There were like a handful of songs that I would play that were not current. They were not like trending songs. You know how some people, whatever's popular for that time, they put it on. This was not popular for that time. I mean, this song was like 1979, 1980. And I was in college around like the early 2000s. So I was just trying to get through, And this was one of the songs that I put on. And it caught me by surprise, because this was a time that all the vintage oldies started to make sense. They started to make sense all of a sudden. When I was on my own, they started to come to the light. And I was like, oh, dang. I see why my mom and dad like these songs now. Sometimes like when you get out on your own, all the stuff that the older people, you see why they play them. You see why they make sense. Because sometimes you need encouragement. And no one's there to encourage you, and sometimes you don't want to call somebody. You just kind of want to be by yourself because sometimes people say the wrong things, to be honest with you. So when a song is recorded, you could always rely on a recorded piece of content because it's going to say the same thing, even though it might hit you a different way, but the words are going to be the same, so it feels safe. So yeah, that's pretty much my little added piece. But there are a few other songs that I will share in the future that are also songs that it got me through college. Like I would put it on repeat, and I didn't even know what the song was about. But songs that were on the gloomy side, I couldn't mess with because then it would have led me emotionally in a way to where I just wouldn't want to finish. But this was one of those songs where it's like I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it gave me that glimmer, even though I think the song was about like everybody has there's an end to everything, there's like a lighter side to everything. There's there's always a season, like say, it's nighttime, there's always a morning time. When that nighttime comes, it's like, don't be so discouraged to think that the morning is not going to come. It always comes. You know what I'm saying? That time always comes, no matter what, because time passes anyway. And sometimes we get so caught up in our emotions in the moment, and we forget that time is going to pass anyway. And then we figure, dang, why did I spend so much time in that emotion? Let me go ahead and get over it right now, and let me make the best of this time, because the time is going to pass anyway. So that's what golden time of day means for me. And guess what? The time did pass. I just buckled down, did the best that I could. I graduated, got my degrees, got out, and it was behind me at that point. And I didn't want to be that person who was looking back wishing that I would have finished, even though I kind of care, but / don't care about college. It's like, I'm not that kind of person, but I did it. So, all right, TikTok, y'all joining and ain't saying nothing, so I'm going to get off. Thank y'all. But yeah. So that's pretty much what that song means to me. And, that's what it is. But yeah, YouTube, I appreciate y'all hanging out. As far as Daniel, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, if you check out the notifications, I may stick with these times, but to be quite honest with you, I may end up doing one night. I think I'll end up doing one night, because once my membership opens up, I have to have the energy to go live and to really engage with the people who are in my membership. That's the lead in, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I have to treat it. But if I'm going live the same amount of times and then coming on here the same amount of times, I want to make sure that I stay motivated. So yeah, if all hearts and minds are clear, if y'all don't have any other questions, I know I was rambling, but that's what the song means to me. I did the tutorial earlier in the video, so I might delete and edit this part out of the replay. But all right, y'all. Thanks for listening. I see some of y'all stuck around. And but yeah, if there are no more questions, then I'll definitely see y'all and check y'all later. But yeah, feel free to share, if you want to share. And I'll check y'all out later. Love you. God loves you. Remember that. Have a good weekend. And I will be on tomorrow, because it's Saturday. I'm doing Fridays and Saturdays. All right. Peace.